We're here to talk about Guitar Hero Live.
Yes.
Scott Butterworth, you have reviewed this game for GameSpot.com.
Yes.
The review is up now. What did you give it?
Give it a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
Which was a bit lower than what a lot of other people gave the game. I was actually a little surprised to see that so many of the other scores were consistently higher than mine. I'm currently the lowest review on Metacritic, which I'm like I said, a little bit surprised.
And also lower than you gave Rock Band.
By a point, yes. I gave Rock Band 4 a 7 out of 10, yes.
So let's talk about what's in Guitar Hero Live, because there's lots of different messaging, there's 2 games coming out, they've all got different systems, and like I have to say, like probably one of the most difficult parts for you reviewing this game must have been trying to just communicate what this game is. Because it's not just what's on the disc.
It was a complicated review, in part because, yes, the game itself is complicated. There's a lot going on in the game. It tries to do a lot of different things and a lot of new things. But I also had very conflicting feelings about the game, very extreme, polar opposite feelings of a lot of the different aspects. So trying to reconcile all those feelings and synthesize them into a cohesive review proved very difficult.
So what are the sections? There's like a campaign, and then there's the easiest way to boil it down, right? There's like campaign and then
like
the weird
music
TV
service thing.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, that's basically what the game is. Like the package Guitar Hero Live, the game comes with Guitar Hero Live, which is a campaign, 42 songs over live footage, custom created, shot with a first-person camera to make it look like you're on stage.
So that's all of this stuff.
That's what you're looking at on screen right now. And then there's also Guitar Hero TV, which is sort of a music streaming service thing. It's difficult to describe because it's not entirely like any other service out there, which does make it interesting, but it also has some really frustrating aspects to its setup.
Let's get into that in a second. For the moment, though, let's talk about the first-person campaign-y stuff.
Sure.
So what is that like? Are those songs set in motion? Are they like the same songs everyone's going to play throughout the campaign? Are you playing in different places in first person? Like, how does it work?
So the way that Guitar Hero Live is structured is basically you have a bunch of sets that are structured under an umbrella of you're playing 2 different music fests, and there are different bands playing different sets at different times. Each set is a preset list of songs. There are 42 on-disc songs. That's what this campaign is using. So over the course of that entire campaign, you play each song as a sort of fake band within, set up again as fests and sets and things within that. And you get, each band has a sort of different look about them and sticks within a sort of genre of music. But all of it is really goofy and inauthentic and just kind of bizarre. Justin, it sounds like you were going to chime in.
Well, unlike the previous games, you're not creating your own band. Like, this is all set up. But for me, like, I feel like it's really cool whenever I watch that footage of getting that first-person shot of the crowd and looking out and like playing bigger and bigger venues. And that feels like it would add a lot of excitement, like being there, like I'm actually playing this concert and looking out.
Look at like for instance this. Look at this for setup.
Yeah, like I'm actually at the concert. He's going to help me get up the stairs. If I were playing this in virtual reality, this would blow my mind.
Does it, or can you even do you even notice? Because are you just looking at your notes on the screen?
So that's the thing. When you're actually playing a song, no, you kind of don't, which I think is a big part of why the motions and the acting and everything are so exaggerated. They kind of assume you're only going to be watching it from out of the corner of your eye.
So they're trying to sell it.
So everything is so hammy and played up and over the top. Like every thumbs up is just like really ridiculously exaggerated.
Wasn't there someone with a sign at one stage that said you're?
There are a bunch of like weird generic signs that are like you're cool or like good job band. Like it's very
good job band.
I don't think that's word for word in that.
But it's very 0 and 1. Like if you're doing a good job, you see good stuff. If you're doing a bad job, you see bad stuff. It's not like it transitions. It's a very quick.
Wait, is this Tony Hawk 5? What's going on?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. So first, what Justin was saying is true. Yes, there's good. It's either you're doing well or you're doing poorly. That's it. There's no in between. And it's the 2 are very extreme. I mean, you're either, like I said in the review, you're either an irredeemable embarrassment or an absolute guitar god.
I mean, this guy's got a skateboard. He's an embarrassment.
But yeah, and then the other portion of it that really I found kind of grating is that it's just so inauthentic. It just does not feel believable in any way. Nothing about it. Yeah, it's like
that's the most enthusiastic roadie that has ever existed.
Like a parody, but there's nothing about it that is sort of self-aware or silly or playful.
Look at this one. Is this?
I didn't even see this. I guess Andy Bauman must have shot this at some point with fellow producer Josh.
Yeah, Josh Shaw.
This is pretty
running
great.
the show at the moment in the back. And then there's Rob, his biggest fan. You are cool.
This is great. Oh, I would pay for this as DLC. Are we?
Oh, really? Can we do
Yeah,
that?
we're in talks right now to bring this to the game.
And when you're playing when you're playing the single player campaign, you have some songs that are unlocked where you can do in quick play, but you actually it's a throwback to older Guitar Hero games and older Rock Band games where you have to play every song in order to unlock them in quick play and play them with another person.
Yeah, there's a lot of sort of annoying throwback stuff like that. Yeah, so if you want to just jump in and play with your friends, you really kind of can't. Like the campaign is single player only, so all the video and stuff you're watching, it was built for a guitarist, right? It's shot from first person.
So there is local multiplayer stuff as well you can do.
Yes, so you can jump into quick play within live, but all of the songs, except for the first track from each set, is locked. So you have to actually play the single player by yourself to unlock the tracks in order to play them in quick play, which is like, didn't we decide 10 years ago that that was a bad idea and that you should just be able to access content right out of the gate? I mean, why? You already paid for the game. Like, why gate the content like that? It's just silly. And that's just one of a handful of examples of that kind of strange, step back. For example, if you ever pause the game, it'll count you back in, but it's the same counter regardless of the tempo of the song or where you are in the song. So inevitably, when it starts you back up, you're gonna miss several notes. It's like, I mean, Rock Band handles that a lot better. I mean, again, there's just a lot of examples like that where it's just it could have used some polish, and these are such easy things to fix and stuff that was resolved years ago that it just kind of backpedals on. It's weird.
Let's also talk then about the actual songs, because that's one of the most important parts of a game like this. In your review, I read that I guess most of the songs from this are taken from like top 40 from the past 5 years.
Pretty much,
so it's
almost
like
all of them, actually.
A lot of poppy stuff then.
Yes, it's primarily focused on top 40 pop music, not a lot of, previous games would, and Rock Band, I think especially does a good job of this, it'll pick songs that even if you don't know them, they are appropriate for the gameplay.
Yeah.
There is, an interesting guitar hook, or, the guitar is sort of the focus. There's something about the song musically that makes it interesting and fun to play.
Yeah.
With a lot of these songs, they're popular, and you'll probably recognize them because, yes, they're all like top 40 major label songs from the past 5 or so years, with only a small handful of exceptions. But a lot of them are not built for this kind of gameplay. They'll have like one single line or guitar hook that'll just repeat for the entire verse, and then you'll play the chorus, then it'll go right back to the verse, and ultimately the song will have just like 3 different parts over its entire duration, and that's just not fun to play. And then you also get stuff like Skrillex or Eminem, which again, like really popular artists, but those songs, like the Skrillex song literally doesn't have guitar in it.
No,
it opens for like 10 seconds of a guitar lick, and then the rest of the song, no guitar.
But you are playing.
So you're playing like the synthy sounds and dubstep noises. But it's just, why you're making a game called Guitar Hero? Why would you not pick music that's guitar driven? There's so much good guitar driven music. Why would you pick these songs? It's just, it doesn't make sense.
So that's on the sort of Guitar Hero live campaign stuff.
Yes.
So explain what the other part of this is, because this looks interesting in terms of at least the library of music that's available.
Yeah, so that's the sort of natural segue between the two. The Guitar Hero TV offers way more music, but the way that it provides music is not really like anything we've seen before in a music game. So, traditionally you could buy a song as DLC and you would own the song, you play it whenever, blah, blah, blah. Guitar Hero TV does not do that. In fact, you cannot buy songs, there's no way to permanently unlock a song, so you can just play it whenever you like.
So how do you get access to new songs?
So if you want to play a particular song, if there's something that you find in the game's song catalog, you're like, oh, that's a good one, I want to play that song, you have to spend a play to play it just that time. It's like a one-time, you spend a play, you play the song, and you can't even restart the song if you screw up.
And where do you get these plays?
So you accumulate plays, basically every thing that you play in Guitar Hero TV, even the stuff that you're paying to play, or spending plays to play. That's confusing.
Go for it.
Everything you play, you get coins, and coins you can spend on plays, or you can spend on like custom note tracks and stuff like that.
Do you get those in the campaign as well, or is that only?
No, it's specific to Guitar Hero TV, and you can also spend real-world currency, like you can spend actual cash to buy plays. But you don't have to. You can, accumulate coins by playing the game and spend that on plays.
How often do you accumulate coins to get plays?
See, that's the thing. So a single play, when you play a song, you are not earning enough coins to buy another play. So inevitably, you're going to run out of plays. And the game is pretty generous up front by giving you chunks of plays. Like you beat the tutorial, and it automatically gives you, oh, here's 10 plays. Spend them on whatever.
We want to get you into our marketplace.
Yeah, kind of.
Do you know how many songs it is? Is it like 3 songs?
It's a little over 200 songs.
No, in terms of how many times you have to play to get one of these.
Yeah, so 2 to 3 songs, depending on your performance, will net you enough coin to purchase a play.
But then you can also buy them with your own money.
Correct.
So what's the rate on that?
So you can a 10-pack of plays costs you it costs you $2.50.
Okay, for 10. All right.
For 10 plays. But again, the game is relatively generous up front. It'll just give you chunks of plays, and you are earning currency no matter what you play. And the primary way to earn currency, if you're not just spending plays on the songs you want to play, is the Guitar Hero channels. So basically the way the channels work is there are 2 of them. They offer different programming. Generally, one's going to be more pop focused, one's going to be like rock and metal focused. And it's just a constant stream of preset music videos, kind of like old school MTV. Like you could tune into MTV or MTV2 and it would just be, they're just playing music videos.
Or Last FM Radio or Spotify Radio or any one of those services that sort of like plays a bunch of music.
Although unlike something like, say, Pandora, you can't put in suggestions. It's just whatever the game is playing, that's what you're going to play.
Well, unlike Spotify as well. Spotify, you can pick songs. You get to choose, like, here's the thing that I want to play. And this is more like Groove Shark, where it's like, anything. I'm going to play these. So there's channels set up. Like, you are going to play songs that are kind of within a genre. So, like.
But there's only 2 channels, so the delineation is, like, really, they're in very big buckets.
And
there's not much separation.
That's all free?
Yes, the channels are absolutely free.
And that's like fun, because that's like a type of discovery as well. It forces people to
and
play
in fact,
songs
I
they
think
wouldn't
this
like.
was where I broke from most other reviewers. A lot of people seem to really enjoy the channels, and I really don't.
Really?
And the main reason why is I just want to have more control over what I'm playing, honestly.
If you spent $60, no, sorry,
$100.
You spent $100 on something.
Yeah, because you have to get the new guitar. You can't play this game without the new guitar that comes with it, which makes sense, and we'll get to that in a minute, because the gameplay is awesome. But to finish up with the Guitar Hero TV, the channels that you can't even skip a song. I mean, seriously, it's like television where whatever's on is what you're playing. So if something comes on, you're like, oh, I hate this artist, or I hate this song, or this isn't fun. You're either stuck playing it, or you quit and you go play something else, assuming you have the plays to go pick a song you actually enjoy. And to me, that just feels weird, and I feel like it kind of it just funnels you into the microtransaction system, so you can technically play without paying.
Like, presumably a couple of more channels might have fixed this problem.
And they are planning on adding a 3rd channel, but they haven't even indicated what that channel will be. Like, they haven't talked about the genre.
And rock will be split in half.
So it's the whole system just feels weird to me, because it's like, if you have to worry about having enough currency to play the content you want, it fundamentally changes how you're even thinking about the experience. Like, is it worth spending a play to play that song? Or, ooh, am I going to really have enough? And, do I need to grind through songs to earn coins? And I don't want to think about that.
That type of thing certainly feels like it's going to be down to like the consumer. Like, are they comfortable with it? To me, it sounds like something I might not be into. But aside from that, let's talk about the sort of the physical aspect of this. The new guitar. Does it play well? Does it feel like you're learning how to play Guitar Hero again?
Like I say in my review, the mechanics are really what redeem the entire game for me. I feel like it really does successfully reinvent just the core mechanics that drive the entire genre. And that's a serious accomplishment. I mean, that took some real thinking and some deft execution to even make that work.
So by that you mean?
So the way that it works now is traditionally you had 5 buttons all in a row, just linear, right? And what sort of made it tricky was you had to extend your pinky down or move your entire hand to get to that last note, right? So the way that this new guitar works is it's actually 6 buttons, and they're laid out sort of side by side. So you have 3 buttons on sort of the upper part of the neck, closer to your body, and then 3 buttons directly underneath that, closer to the floor. So you're switching not only up and down on the fretboard, but back and forth between one side and the other. And so that allows for a lot of really interesting new patterns and variations in the note charts, and it does force you to completely relearn the way that you play these games, which is exciting because it makes it feel fresh and new again, and just the process of learning and developing your skills is super rewarding. It's always been rewarding. It's what made the genre such a hit in the first place, or a big part of it anyways.
Excellent.
So to recapture that and make it new is like, that's huge.
Guitar Hero Live, 6 out of 10 on GameSpot.com.
Yes.
I guess wait and see if that's the sort of type of model you want to buy. Is there DLC coming out for it?
They do. They've stated that they plan to continue to add songs to Guitar Hero TV.
Right,
the plans are slightly vague, but from what I've heard, they want at least 70 new songs in by the end of the year.
So they're going to funnel people into that aspect of it.
Yes.
All right. Justin, Scott, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us all about Guitar Hero Live.
Of course.
We'll be back.